Hi. Sometimes influencing requires that you simply have to tell people what action you want them to take. For some of us, telling is very easy. For some of us, telling is very difficult. Plus, you have to remember that you have to choose your situations carefully. You can use telling in a crisis. Suppose a fire breaks out in your office. What would you tell your co-workers to do? You would simply tell them to leave now. Suppose an upset customer calls you up and wants to speak to your boss. At that time, you wouldn't be trying to inspire or inquire or prove, would you? You'd simply go to your boss and say, you need to call this upset customer now. You can also use telling when you have a skill or a specialization that the other person doesn't have. For example, suppose you are a doctor at a car accident site. Or suppose you are an internet security expert advising a client on how to prevent hacking into their computer system. If you have specific skills or specializations, you may find yourself in situations where you have to use telling as an influencing tactic, but not too often, mind you, because the other person will start resisting very soon. Another situation in which telling is effective is when you have to close a meeting or you have to close a deal. So you might say something like this. Let me summarize the actions we all have to take. John, you have to do such and such by Monday. Rajesh, you have to do such and such by the end of next week. And my job is to call so and so and have this conversation with him. In all the previous examples, you will notice that telling effectively requires you to use the 3 C's: clear, concise, and compelling. But remember that when you use the 3 C's, it's important that you should watch your tone. If your tone is arrogant or authoritarian, you may get the desired action in the short term, but you will only cause long-term resentment, and that will reduce your influence. Will you do something for me? Think of a recent situation where telling may have been most effective, but you used another influencing tactic. If the same situation come up again, how would you tell this time? Using the right tone of voice. Have fun.